Who was the best rider on Sons of Anarchy? No, seriously. Out of the whole Samcro crew, who actually knew how to throw down on two wheels, and who just faked it to land the roll? Well, the answer might surprise you. Because the guy who couldn't ride at first, yeah, he became the best of them all. And yes, we're talking about Charlie Hunnam. The man who brought Jax Teller to life didn't just become the heart and soul of the show. He literally became its best biker. The transformation wasn't overnight. It took time, grit, and a whole lot of falling before rising. But once he locked in, he didn't let go. Let's rewind the tape and see how Charlie went from zero to full-throttle biker king. The bike culture of Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy wasn't your average TV drama. It wasn't playing biker dress-up. It was the real deal. Motorcycles weren't just props. They were plot. The show was steeped in biker club culture, brotherhood, loyalty, lawlessness, and central to all of that, the bikes. No green screens, no faked motion, no camera tricks. What you saw on screen was exactly what was happening in real life. Every single actor rode those machines for real. Whether it was cruising through the California desert or tearing up the pavement in a chase scene, it was them. And that commitment came with risks. Riding isn't a game, it's dangerous. And on a tight filming schedule, with cameras rolling and stunt timing crucial, things can go sideways, it's fast. But the creators didn't back down. Instead, they leaned in and demanded that the cast meet the road head on. There was just one problem. Most of them didn't know how to ride. Bike school and the lies that got them there. When casting began, knowing how to ride wasn't exactly mandatory, but it was heavily preferred. So, what did most of the actors do? They lied. Straight up said they were expert riders, when some of them had barely even touched a motorcycle. Once the show locked them in, the truth came out. And that's when the real training began. Producers sent the cast to bike school, intensive motorcycle safety and skills training to get them road ready. It wasn't just about looking cool, it was about not dying. And among all those new recruits, one guy stood out. Yes, Charlie's rise to best rider status. Charlie Hunnam started from scratch. When he landed the role of Jax Teller, he had no real riding experience. And in a show like Sons, that wasn't going to fly. Kim Coates, Tig Traeger himself, spilled the details years later. Only 3 actors showed up knowing how to ride: Kim, Mark Boone Jr., Bobby, and David LaBrava, Happy, who, in real life, had ties to an actual outlaw MC. Charlie? He was miles behind. But here's the thing. Charlie wasn't interested in just learning the basics. He didn't want to fake it till he made it. He wanted to master it. He trained obsessively, not just during lessons, but outside of work, on weekends, after long shooting days. And all that work paid off. By the middle of the second season, Charlie wasn't just keeping up. He was leading. Kim Coates said it best. Charlie became the best rider of all of us. That's high praise coming from a guy who already rode like a maniac. Eventually, Charlie wasn't just riding on screen. He was riding to and from set every day. Through the rain, through the cold, through California heat. He lived it. He was Jax Teller, in more ways than one. The dangers behind the wheels. But bikes aren't toys, and the risk was always real. We can't talk about riding and Sons of Anarchy without remembering Johnny Lewis, who played Half Sack. He left the show after season 2 and tragically died in a motorcycle accident just a few years later. That hit hard, for the fans, for the crew, and for Charlie. After the show ended, Charlie decided it was time to take a break. He stepped away from motorcycles completely. For 5 years, he didn't touch one. It wasn't about fear, it was about self-preservation. He had given everything to that lifestyle, and he needed time to reset. But once the road gets in your blood, it doesn't leave easy. The return to riding. Recently, Charlie shared that he's back on the bike. That itch, it came roaring back. And he's not just riding any old bike, he still owns the original Harley Dyna Superglide from the show. Jax Teller's bike, the one he rode through every Sam Crow showdown and silent brooding montage. It's not just a souvenir, it's a part of him. Charlie's career, post-Sons, Shantaram and beyond. Since Sons, Wrapped, Charlie hasn't slowed down. He's taken on some pretty major roles. The Gentleman, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, Triple Frontier. He's been busy. But ask Charlie what his favorite project was, he'll tell you. Sons of Anarchy. There's something about long-form storytelling, about growing with a character over years, that hits different for him. That's why Shantaram, his Apple TV Plus series, was such a passion project. Charlie read the novel nearly a decade ago and immediately became obsessed. When the chance came to turn it into a series, he fought to make it happen. It took years, 5 of them, to get it greenlit and rolling. Shantaram follows a convict who escapes prison and finds a new life in the underworld of Bombay. It's rich, layered, emotional, and gave Charlie the depth he's been craving since saying goodbye to Jax. But even with this new chapter, fans want to know, could Sons of Anarchy make a comeback? Charlie Hunnam has been thinking about that too. In interviews, he's dropped hints, teasing that he's actively working on an idea, something set in the Sons of Anarchy universe. Now, let's be real, Jax Teller's story ended, brutally. That final ride into the truck wasn't exactly subtle, but that doesn't mean it's over. Think about Breaking Bad and what Better Call Saul pulled off. Prequels, spin-offs, parallel timelines. It's all fair game now. What if we got a series following Jax's sons, or a deeper dive into the club's early days? Or maybe Jax appears in flashbacks, guiding the next generation? Charlie might not be on the bike this time, but behind the scenes, he's more than ready to steer. Mayans MC. The story continues. Meanwhile, the Sons of Anarchy universe has continued. Mayans MC picked up the torch and brought new flavor to the club life. And Season 4? It brought us a moment. Tig Traeger, Kim Coates, is back. That cameo wasn't just fan service, it was a bridge. The Mayans and the Sons are on a collision course, and the door is wide open for more characters, more stories, to step back in. Crossovers, war arcs, even legacy tie-ins. The future's looking interesting. So, who's the best writer from Sons of Anarchy? No contest, Charlie Hunnam. He started at the bottom, couldn't ride, but through hard work, obsession, and sheer will, he became the best, undisputed king of the road. Now, he's not just holding on to his Harley, he's holding on to a vision, a new story, a continuation, a return to the world he helped build. Will we see Sam Crow rise again? Will the Reaper ride once more? Time will tell. But if Charlie Hunnam's behind the wheel, we're all coming along for the ride.